Right now, President Biden has three Democratic challengers: Marianne Williamson, Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks, and Democratic Representative Dean Phillips. Now, right now, those three competitors combined are not necessarily polling in a significant enough way to really have an impact on the Democratic primary. Now, I say that not to, be negative about all these people, like, get out of the race. I'm not saying that at all, so don't get me wrong. But right now, statistically, those competitors are insignificant. But that leads me to our next viewer question here. This is from RZ2508, who asks, do you believe any other Dems will run for president, or what do you think the realistic odds are of us having Trump as president again? I think it is a very realistic possibility that Trump becomes president again. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to rule that out. We've seen craziness in politics over the last few years, so anything is possible. But back to the Biden part, right? That's the important one. I've already talked about, Trump's reelection chances, but I think, are more Democrats going to jump in? At this point, no. I would be shocked if anybody else decides to throw their hat into the ring, not because Biden's polling so strongly, because he's definitely not in the Democratic Party, but compared to the challengers, he is. I think the reason more people are not going to jump in is because the Democratic Party itself, the party apparatus, has made it clear, like, we're not really having a primary, guys. Like, yeah, you're going to go and you're going to vote and you're going to see other names on the ballot. Sure. So we're having a primary, but we're not having a primary. We're not having debates. We're not seeing television networks host rallies from any of these other candidates. And honestly, that's a shame. We should have that. I get that Biden's an incumbent, and I get that there's tradition. But to hell with tradition. Traditions are stupid. And I say that on Thanksgiving Day. So, sorry for the weird irony there. It's tradition for my family, by the way, to go on vacation the week of Thanksgiving. Not to go visit family. No, we actually leave the rest of our family for my core group to go on vacation. So that's kind of our tradition. But political tradition's kind of dumb. We need choices, especially when we have a man currently sitting in the Oval Office who had told us back in 2020 that he was only going to seek one term. He told us that, remember? I know I'm not the only one that remembers that. I actually did segments on it for Ring of Fire when he said it. And now he's like, nope, I'm going to do it again. Well, okay, but you're going to have challengers. Nobody should just be handed anything like this. This amount of power that the President of the United States wields should not just be ceded by the rest of the Democratic Party. Say, well, he's currently got it, so we're not going to challenge him. No. Make him fight for it. Make him prove that he's still the best person for the job. And if he can't prove that he's the best person, let us pick the best person. I mean, we do have a democratic republic, right? We still democratically elect our leaders. So let us elect them in the primary process. And just having them on the ballot isn't enough. You go ask your average person sitting out there in, middle of Wisconsin, right? We'll do a good swing state there. Ask them, like, hey, who's Dean Phillips? They'd be like, Dean Phillips. I think I went to high school with a Dean Phillips. Yeah, he runs the auto body shop down the street there. Yeah, I think that's Dean. They're not going to immediately think, oh, you mean Representative Dean Phillips, who was running for president. He recently got into the race, blah, blah. They're not going to say that. They're going to be like, who's Cenk Uygur? They'd be like, I've never heard those words in my life. Who's Marianne Williamson? Maybe they remember her from 2020. Maybe they don't. But if you put those people out there in debates, just like the Republicans have had, even though Trump's going to win it, then maybe people will be like, oh yeah, Cenk Uygur, I saw him in the debate. He did awesome. I loved it. Or Marianne Williamson, she got a negative bad rap from 2020 because people wanted to paint her as crazy, but it turns out she's actually super smart and really good at this. And I think those things, by the way. But it is what it is. So because of that, to, in a roundabout way, finally answer your question, no, we're not going to have more Democrats jump in because we're not having an actual primary. Hey, everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel, We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.